Hi, ladies. Come on in. It's time for our coaching call. I'm going to wait for you all to come in. Post in the comments as you come in. We have something super, super important. Let me just finish writing my notes on this here as you all come in. Hi, Julia. Who else is here? Ladies, we are talking thoughts today. Thoughts and feelings and all the things. Literally all the things. Come on in. Who else is here? A is here. Hello. Okay, let me see what I look like. It's just been one of those mornings. Monday, I'm still in Milan with my daughter. Today was laundry day. So I woke up, did laundry, did all the things we do. Hi, Shireen. Took a shower. It's my video day. So I literally do a video at 1, 3, 4, 5:30, and then again at 8. So total video day. It's my favorite day of the week, believe it or not, is doing all the videos with everybody. So come on in, ladies. Here we go. I know that this week probably was not what you expected to be on this program. Probably. We didn't talk about nutrition at all. There was no kale. There was no celery juice. There was nothing. We jumped right into the core. Your core of what is actually going on with your life, which, whether you're aware of it by now or not, is driving your eating habits. It's your thoughts and your feelings and your beliefs about yourself and your beliefs about your life and what your life is and isn't, what it can be, what it should be, what it could have been, what it wasn't, what you want it to be, that you can't see what you want it to be. All of this is at the root cause. And this is for the simple reason why diets don't work and why you might have felt like you keep going from one diet to the next, because we think that the solution is physical, when the reality is the solution always starts on the inside. And if we can't address those things that we've just been touching the surface this past week, right? All I did really last week was just ask you to dream. I want you to dream. I want you to think about what you want for yourself. I want you to think about what's this vision you have for yourself. I want you to think about if there were no consequences in your life, if there was no financial consequence, if you were financially secure for the rest of your life, if there was not going to be any fallback on any part of your life, on your family life, on your relationship, for your kids, for you're not worried about judgment from society and people around you, what would you do? And the amount of resistance that's coming up around that from everybody. And it's because we forgot. We basically forgot. We forgot how to do something seemingly simple as dreaming. We forgot that we're allowed to believe something even though we don't have proof for it just yet. We forgot that we're allowed to have visions for ourselves that don't necessarily look like everybody else's visions for themselves, and that's okay. And so in trying to think of yourself for the first time in a long time as women, you have come up against all of this resistance. And even when you do think of something that you want for yourself, it's automatic. Like the next thought, like right away, is but I can't because of this. But it's really hard because of this. But I'm stuck. I think every single one of you, almost every single one of you has used some version of I'm stuck in the past week. The only time that you're really, really stuck, ladies, and use this as a visual if it helps, is if literally your feet are stuck in cement. That's the only time you're actually physically like, oh my gosh, we have a problem. Yes, you are actually stuck. All the other times that you think that you're stuck, that's just your brain. That's just a thought. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to introduce this concept today. We'll talk about it today. We'll talk about it next time. And it'll keep coming up in our conversations and in our videos, is the power of your mind. Because every single post that every single one of you has shared with me, every single response you've had to one of my questions is not a reality and is not a truth. It's nothing but a compilation of your thoughts. And we have something like, every human being has something like 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day. Think about it. Are you even aware of all the thoughts that you have every single day? And every single thought is literally just like a running sentence in your head. It doesn't mean that it's true. It doesn't mean that it's the truth. It's just a thought. And yet we believe it. This is too hard, so you believe it. That's just a thought. That's not the truth. So you believe it. I don't know. I don't have any passions. That's just a thought. I'm stuck. That's just a thought. This is going to be too complicated. I can't see the vision for myself. I can't dream for myself. I want to start my business, but I'm worried about what people are going to say about me. I'm worried about criticism. I'm worried about, I don't have time. Every single one of those, ladies, is just a thought. And this is going, when I first learned this concept, it was like, yeah, but it's my thought. And it's my thought about my life and about my circumstance. So I'm not just going to make up thoughts. Like there's proof. Like, look, when I, try and do something for myself, I never find the time. Like I see, there's proof in my life for this. When I'll give you a personal example. When I became a health coach, and after being a stay-at-home mom for so long, I was petrified. What are people going to say about me? What are people going to think about me? And lo and behold, people criticized me and people made fun of me. So see, I was right. So maybe I shouldn't. And there was a period of time when, and still until today, the thoughts that you have, you're going to find proof for them in your life. But the thoughts that you have, you also have the ability to change the thoughts and then find proof for those thoughts too. So what I want to introduce to you today is the idea that every single thought you have is not a permanent one. Every single thought you have about yourself, about your life, about your health, about your goals, about your family, about your relationship, about your friends, about society, about anything, is a thought that if it's not serving you in that area of your life right now, you can change it to have it serve you. Because every single thought that you have creates a feeling. When you say, I don't want to put myself out there as a health coach because I don't want people to criticize me. What kind of a feeling do you think that gave me back then? And I know a couple of you are in the same situation. Did it make me feel confident that I'm going to go out there and I'm going to be a health coach anyway, and I'm going to put myself out there and I'm going to put my message out there, when the thought is people are going to criticize me, people are going to judge me? Hell no. When my thought is people are going to criticize me, people are going to judge me, my feeling was, I'm petrified. I'm scared. And so then what happens when you're petrified or you're scared? Do you think and you can apply this to anything. Do you think you're actually going to take action from a place of fear? You might, but it's very different than taking action from a place of confidence. So take out a pen and paper. This is a conversation that never ends. The conversation about your thoughts and your beliefs and your feelings and how they create your reality is one that never ends. But today I'm sort of going to give you a shortcut. Not sort of. I am going to give you a shortcut. So take out a pen and paper, because you do need to do this written down. I guess you can do it on your phone also. But take out a pen and paper. I'm going to teach you something called, and I'm teaching you this today, like second week into the program, because this is something, it's key. Like if you don't understand the power of catching your thoughts, changing them, creating the thought that's going to serve you versus sticking to the one that's not serving you, it's going to be a lot harder for you to get what you need, not just in this program, but in general, in health, in your life, and moving forward. All right, so take out a pen and paper. I'm going to teach you something called a thought model. I did not make this up. I learned this from my mindset coach. I don't know that she made it up or she created it. She adapted it from somewhere. Point is, I can't take credit for this. I'm teaching you something that I learned. All right, thought model. Here's what I want you to write. I want you to write C in the first line. C stands for circumstance. So you can either write C or write circumstance. And then underneath it, I want you to write T. T stands for thought. Underneath it, I want you to write, and this is reversed for me because of the camera, F. F stands for feeling. Underneath that, well, I really can't do this reverse thing. Underneath that, A/I, and that stands for action/inaction. And then the last one on there is result. And then I want you to draw a line, and then I want you to do the same thing again, but in reverse. Start with the result, and then action, inaction, and then feeling, and then thought, and then circumstance. And let me know when you're done. Yasmin is here, Jahan is here, Besma is here. Welcome, ladies. Super, super, super duper important conversation we're having today. We're going to continue to have it. I'm just introducing the concept today. I'm introducing this practice that I want you to do, basically. And I'm going to teach you how to do it. All right, everybody done? Okay. So here's how your thoughts work. Whenever you see an event happening around you, which we're going to call a circumstance, you have a thought about it. You have an idea about it. A circumstance is something that you can't change, no matter what you do. So circumstance is a person, right? You can't change a person's ideas, a person's their own thoughts, right? Their own feelings, their behavior. You cannot. And this is important as women because we think that, I can change my husband, I can change my kids. Like, I know best. I know like the best thing and probably you're right. We probably do know what's best. But at the end of the day, you cannot change a person. You cannot change what they're thinking, what they're doing, how they're behaving. It's their right to think and feel what they want to think and feel. So circumstance can be a person. A circumstance can be a situation. At work. Something's happening at work. There's a stance at work. There's a rule at work. There's a policy at work. You can't change it. A circumstance can also be a worldwide event, like COVID. It's there. Regardless of what you think about it, it's there. You can't actually remove it. It's there. A circumstance can be this program. It's there. You've signed up. A circumstance can be something I've asked you to do in this program. I said it. It's there. You can't change it. A circumstance is anything. It's the weather. It's a situation. It's a conversation. It's a person. It's a person, place, or thing. Think of it sort of as a noun that is happening outside of you. Completely outside of you. Then this circumstance happens, whatever it happens to be for you, and you have a thought about it. And I'm going to go through and give you a specific example after I explain this. And you have a thought about this circumstance. Yeah, I'll walk you through an example. You have a thought about it. And then this thought generates a feeling. So it's still all about the circumstance. It hasn't changed. You have a thought about it, and then the thought generates a feeling. And then based on this feeling, you are either going to behave in some way, take action in some way, or not. And then that's going to give you a result. You can apply this to anything in your life. I'm going to show you how. Let's use, what can we use as a circumstance, as an example? Okay, let's use that I've asked you all to think of a goal. Right? That's the circumstance. Dana wants me to have a goal. That's a circumstance. You can't change it unless I decide I don't want you to have a goal. But you can't make me do anything because you can't control people. You can't control their emotions or their feelings or their actions. So the circumstance right now is, and a lot of you are in this situation, is I've asked you to create a goal. So the circumstance is Dana has asked me to think of a goal. And what's the corresponding thought that you have about that? I don't have a goal. This is too hard. I don't have a vision. I've never thought about a goal. How do I do this? Those are all the different thoughts you all are having, right? Circumstance is the same. You're all having different thoughts about the same circumstance. Think of a circumstance sort of like a movie, right? It's there, you're all watching it. 5 people can go in and watch the same movie, and all 5 of you are going to come out with a different thought. One of you will think it's the best movie in the world. One person will think it's the worst movie in the world. One person can think, oh, this movie was so sad and so deep. Somebody can think this is really shallow. What a waste of time. The movie hasn't changed. Your thought about the movie is where the variable is. So that's why all of you have the same assignment. Dana wants me to create a goal, but you're all having different thoughts about it. Let me see who's watching that we can use to use an example. Julia, are you still here? What's your thought about this? Let's use Julia's because I think Julia is a good one for us to work with. What's your thought about Dana wants me to create a goal? Put it in the comments. And what we're going to do with this exercise is I'm going to ask you to start to help yourself on a daily basis with it and share with me a daily thought model on the group so that I can make sure that you're doing it right, first of all, and you can get into the practice of it, and then that we can start to literally retrain your mind. Okay, Julia says, I can't choose. Perfect. So I say goal. Julia's first thought is, I can't choose. Julia, how does that make you feel? So if you're going to fill this out. Okay, so Julia says, feel like I have to sacrifice other goals, lack of passion. I need you to choose one. So when you're doing this exercise, your brain is already all over the place with 80,000 thoughts. We want to simplify. So I want you to choose one thought, Julia. Which one is it? I have to sacrifice other goals, I lack passion, or I can't choose. Which one? Choose one. You can go back, right? So she's had 3 different thoughts about here. She can go back and do a different one of these for each one of those thoughts. But as you do it, you want to focus on just one thought so as not to confuse your brain and to not complicate a process that's really quite simple. So let me know, Julia, which thought do you want us to go with? That I have to sacrifice? I don't feel excited enough by one. Okay, just for argument's sake, right? Okay, for argument's sake, let's go by I have to sacrifice other goals, all right? Just so that I can show you how to do this. So the circumstance is Dana said I have to decide a goal. Julia's thought is I have to sacrifice other goals. That's her thought around this. She's allowed to have that thought, but let's see where this thought is going to lead her. So how does that thought make you feel, Julia, that I have to sacrifice other goals? How does that make you feel? Dana said, choose a goal. My thought is I have to sacrifice other goals. The feeling is what? When you're thinking I have to sacrifice other goals, what's the feeling that comes up for you? Paralyzing. Perfect. Perfect. So she feels paralyzed. So what do you think the action is going to be when Julia feels paralyzed? What's the action or the inaction going to be? Dana wants me to write a goal. I don't want to give up other goals. I feel paralyzed. Also, when you do the feeling line, that should also be one feeling also. So she feels paralyzed. Perfect. I feel paralyzed. What action or inaction is going to come out of paralysis? Inaction. Perfect. So what are you going to do, Julia? Basically, the inaction is what? You're not going to choose a goal. In this case, that's what it means. You won't choose a goal. So then what result does that give you? If you do nothing, what result does that give you? If you're paralyzed, and which is makes perfect sense, by the way, right? It makes perfect sense. Like exactly what's happening here is a perfect sort of domino effect of the circumstance, the thought, and the feeling. Like, of course, if you're paralyzed, you're not going to do anything. So the result is no change. Perfect. This is what all of you are going to find the first time you do a thought model, when you just basically you're doing, it's kind of like another brain dump of what's actually happening in your head right now. And you go along with it. We all go along with it. We take it as truth. Dennis said goal, but I don't want to give up other goals. I'm paralyzed. I do nothing, no change. And we just accept it, like that's it. Like we can't do anything about that. But here's what's great about this is we're going to reverse that. Now remember, we said that the circumstance never changes. It never changes, but we're just going to do this backwards. Let me just see my camera to make sure you can see it. We're going to do this backwards. So the circumstance is going to be at the bottom, right here. And that is, Dennis said, I have to choose a goal. That's not changing. Put that in here at the bottom. Because learning to change your mind and learning to catch your thoughts and learning to change your thoughts, which are going to give you different feelings, which are going to give you different actions, which is going to give you a different result, has nothing to do with changing the outside world. And it has nothing to do with changing the circumstance. It has nothing to do with changing somebody else's mind or convincing somebody else to be on board with you or making sure that somebody supports you or watching only the news that sounds good to you. It has nothing to do with changing anything externally. It's all up here. So I'm still asking you to write a goal, Julia. I still need a goal from you. So that's what you're going to put down here. We're going to work it backwards. We're going to start with the result. So if I asked you, I need you to write down a goal as part of this program, as part of opening yourself up, as part of expanding your consciousness, as part of being able to tap into deep desires or any desire that you have just forgotten you have. And I want you to learn to, in finding a goal, I want you to start prioritizing you. So what result do you want, Julia, from this exercise? What result do you want from deciding on a goal? The result we got here was no change. So that doesn't get you anywhere. What's the result that you do want? Okay, she says learn to trade. I love it. That's the result. She wants to learn to trade. I'm guessing that's like stocks and stuff, right, Julia, for the ladies here who might not have been following up on your posts. She wants to learn to trade. Amazing. In order for you to learn to trade, Julia, what do you have to do? What action do you have to take? What action do you have to take so that you can learn to trade? Study. Okay, perfect. She has to study. So I'm guessing that you either know very little or you know nothing about stocks and trading and all of that. So you want to learn to trade. So what's the feeling that has to precede that? She wants to practice in dummy accounts. All right. Okay, so I'm going to pause for 1 second, Julia. So when you say I want to practice in dummy accounts, in order to do what? Just to do this as a hobby? Or to practice in dummy accounts so that you can become proficient enough to then do it professionally? Answer that for me before we keep going. Okay, so actually the result, the yes is what? Yes, which one, Julia? Yes is because you want to practice and then become a professional, or you just want to practice and just keep doing it for yourself? To do it for myself. Perfect. So let's tweak the result a little bit. So the result is I want to learn to trade for myself. You need, it's always, your brain always wants very specific instructions, doesn't like vague notions and vague things. So I want to learn to trade for myself. The action you said is to study. That's still the same. So what's the feeling then? In order for you to go and start to study and pursue studies so that you become proficient in trading for yourself, what's the feeling that has to be there? Apologize for the lag, ladies. Competency. So you need to feel competent in order for you to study, in order for you to be able to trade for yourself. All right, let's go with that. Let's go with that. So what's the thought that has to precede that in order for you to feel competent? I mean, oh, you just put this little emoji. Is that a scared emoji? Like, like sheesh, like, oh my God, like, ah, is that what that is? And let me ask you this. Do you think you're going to feel, yes, yikes. So actually what you're feeling is yikes. That's what you're feeling. You're feeling yikes. Because do you think you're going to feel competent before you start studying or after you start studying? My guess is the competency is going to happen after you study. So what, and this is amazing what's happening. Your actual feeling is the yikes. Is that knee-jerk reaction that you just put. It's yikes, right? That's what you actually feel like. Holy crap, can I do this? Yikes, okay? So the feeling is not competency. What you're actually feeling is, holy shit, yikes. That's what you're feeling. And what's the thought that's giving you that feeling, Julia? What's the thought that's making you feel yikes? Fear, basically. Yikes. What is the thought that's making you feel yikes about studying to learn to be a trader for yourself? What are you thinking to yourself that generates the feeling of yikes? What is that thought? What's the thought that's generating fear? You've got fear. So what's the thought? What's the thought that when you think it, you think, yikes, I'm scared to learn how to become an independent or, learn to trade for myself? What's the thought that's coming before you recognize the fear? I haven't done anything for myself for so long. Perfect. So that's what's going to go on the thought right here. So the circumstance is the same. Dana wants me to think of a goal. Her thought is, I haven't done anything for myself for so long, which makes her feel scared and yikes. But then she wants to go and study. so that she can learn to trade for herself. Julia, do you think you're going to go take action when you're afraid? And you might, right? Be perfectly honest though. Do you think, if we leave this at that and we agree that you're afraid, do you think you're going to hang up today and in the next couple of days go and take action when the feeling is fear? No. Thank you for your honesty. So this is when you go back to reworking this, because the point of part 2 is to get it to work for you. You get to choose. You get to choose the thought that's going to give you the feeling that's going to have you taking the action. So Julia, we're good with the action and the result. We're good with the thought. We're good with the circumstance. We need to tweak the thought and the feeling. So we know that feeling scared, I mean, like you said, you might try a little, right? Is it going to be like a non-negotiable? I'm going to go and do this. I'm going to go and learn this, and I'm going to go and become a trader for myself. Do you think that's going to happen from fear? Probably not. What do you think the feeling is that you would need to have, that would have to be generated in order for you to wake up tomorrow, research whatever study, course, online course, in-person course, certification, whatever it is you need to do in order for you to become a trader? What's the feeling you have to have inside you in order for you to do that? We've already determined that fear is not going to do it. It's not going to cut it. Not that there's anything wrong with fear. It's important to acknowledge that that's where you are right now. But we also know that fear is not going to get you to where you want to be. So what's the feeling that you need to have? That I will succeed. Okay, so that's a thought. Also learn to differentiate between a thought and a feeling. I will succeed, that's a thought. So we're going to put that here. Then it wants me to reach a goal. My thought is, instead of, but what about my other goals? But I don't have passion enough. I don't know if I can do this, right? Her thought already, we're getting to a different place right now. Her thought is, I will succeed. So then what's the feeling that's going to happen from that thought? Like when you think, I will succeed, what feeling is being generated for you now, Julia? Confidence. Confidence. And when you're confident, do you think you're going to wake up tomorrow and go find that course, go sign up for that course and start? Shadeen says excited. Do you need to be excited or do you need to be confident? Which one works? There's no right or wrong. You have to find the one that works for you. We know that a feeling like fear is not going to help you succeed. Will confidence give you the impetus to wake up tomorrow and actually sign up for the course? Julia says, of course. Of course. So we basically went from no action, no result, nothing happening in the first one, even though they were still her thoughts. I didn't take somebody else's thoughts and implant them in her head. They're her thoughts. What we've done is just caught the thoughts, because these are lots of times you have thoughts that are working for you. So it's not like every single thought you have doesn't work for you. We're just focusing on the ones when we do want to see a specific result in our life and we're not seeing it. That's when you have to address the thoughts and the feelings. So in this case, it was Julia's told me I'm stuck. I can't think of a goal. I'm stuck. So this is how we get her unstuck. So right now, and maybe the trader one is not the goal because you said there are other options. Go through each one, Julia, and see which is the one that then you're super, super confident and excited about pursuing. And it's not about how, and it's not about the exact steps that are going to get me there right now, which is understanding and catching and knowing, but this happens with practice, that every single time you have a thought, it's not the final thought. It's not the final say, not a life sentence. You get to choose your thoughts. You literally get to choose the thought that's going to give you the result that you want. It's called free will. Most people, when you don't know this, and some people even after they do know this, they choose to stay in the thought that doesn't work for them because that thought keeps them in their comfort zone, right? So Julia can decide, yikes, I'm scared. I'm going to just stay with this one. But is that going to get her to where she wants? No. So 80,000 thoughts a day, ladies. 80,000 thoughts a day, literally running amok in our heads and determining, because we're not conscious of them, because we're not catching them, because we're not choosing them, literally deciding for us the results that we're getting in our lives. It takes 5 minutes. It took us longer today because I had to walk you through each step. This is one of those exercises that needs to be done written down because there is that mind-hand connection that keeps going and the flow of the thoughts. So please don't try and just do this process in your head. Circumstance, thought, feeling, action, result, boom. No. This is something that has to be done written down, and you can literally do it for anything. Any result that you want in your life, where right now it seems like you're stuck. You're not stuck. That's just a thought, right? So you could the thought here could be, Dana wants me to think of a goal, and your thought is, I'm stuck. All of you had that thought, I'm stuck. What's the feeling that comes from being stuck, right? Frustration, irritability, uselessness, like all sorts of things come up when you tell yourself you're stuck. And then what happens with the action or inaction? Nothing. And the result is no change. Imagine if you told yourself, I have every single opportunity in front of me. I get to choose anything. I get to choose any goal. I get to be whatever I want to be. You literally choose whatever thought excites you because you want the next feeling to be excitement, inspiration, motivation, confidence. Because action doesn't come from fear, irritability, frustration, not real lasting action. It'll like Julia said, I'll try a little bit. But waking up every day and following through on a goal has to come from a place of excitement. It has to feel like you're going on vacation every day. Think about when you're going on vacation. Think about the night before your vacation. What are the thoughts going through your head? I can't wait. This is amazing. This is so exciting. I can't wait to see what I'm going to see. I can't wait to see this new country. I can't wait to taste the food. I can't wait to have an amazing time with my kids. I can't wait to make memories. And so you have all of this surge of energy that goes through you. And so you go on the vacation, you have an amazing time. Of course, some people going on vacation are like, can't believe I have to spend more time with my family. Can't believe I have to also see my in-laws. Can't believe I'm going to this like dumb country that I didn't choose, but the whole family wants to go to it. I don't want to go to this museum. I don't want to go and have dinner with these people. So it brings the vibration down. So what kind of a vacation do you think they're going to have? So when you're thinking about the goal, like I said, number one, it's about reopening yourself to yourself. Getting in touch with yourself again. It's about unlearning, learning, relearning. Everything we're doing in this program from day one until we're done, we are unlearning, learning, relearning. Write that down. Unlearning, learning, relearning. So you are unlearning the habit of shutting yourself down. You're unlearning the habit of not prioritizing you. You're unlearning the habit that your dreams are important and significant and amazing, no matter what anybody else thinks. You are unlearning to make excuses because you're afraid, or you make excuses because it's just resistance because you're afraid. You're unlearning that there's a set of feelings that's okay to feel and a set of feelings that's not okay to feel. All the feelings are okay to feel. What we want to do is just choose the ones that serve us better. So if you find yourself in fear, if you find yourself sad, if you find yourself frustrated, you're going to have to sit with it first and figure out why. That's the first step, because it's a 100% valid feeling. But then you have to ask yourself, right, is this feeling serving me? If I feel yikes, if I feel afraid, if I feel frustrated, if I feel stuck, okay, it's valid. And it's been my experience so far in life, 100%. But moving forward, if I stay in this feeling, does that serve me? Is that going to get me to where I want to be? Is that actually going to give me the change that I want from signing up for this program at the most basic level, right? But then for the rest of your life. So I want you to try this exercise every morning in your journal. Not try, I want you to do this exercise. When I first learned this exercise, and I was literally shocked by the amount of thoughts I had every day that I thought were just me, right? Like we attach ourselves to our thoughts. Like this, my thought comes from me. So it's sort of my identity. It's not. You can easily change your thought and it becomes a different identity completely. So when I realized to what extent the sheer number, like the volume of thoughts that were running through my head, I literally had a little notebook. And every time I thought a thought, I would write it down and work around it. Any thought. She's horrible. I mean, you can think that about someone. She's horrible. I'm like, oh my God, why do I think she's horrible? And I would go through that. This is ridiculous. That's a thought. Okay, what's ridiculous? And why do you think it's ridiculous? And if you think it's ridiculous, well, is that helping you or is that just making things harder for you? And you can literally do this with everything. When, not so much now, but like the last few runs of this program, COVID was the big one, right? COVID was a huge circumstance for everybody. Circumstance is COVID. Can't change it. It's there. Looks like it's going to be here for a while, right? So for a lot of people, their lives stopped because of COVID. Stopped. But when you work your way back, right, you can think. I mean, here's why some people thrived during COVID and some people didn't. The ones who thrived, right, there's COVID, same experience for all of us, same circumstance for all of us. But some people were like, okay, great. I'm just going to keep going with my life as if nothing's happening. This has nothing to do with me. So that made them feel safe. That made them feel secure. That made them feel confident. And they just went on with their lives. Other people were like, oh my God, I'm going to die. Oh my God, COVID is going to kill me and everybody in my family. Oh my God, this is the worst thing that's ever happened. Oh my God, how am I going to survive this? And so what happens? Shut down, closed thoughts, worry, fear, extreme fear for some people, and they completely shut down. COVID is the same. For the people who decided that their lives are just going to go on, and for the people who decided to shut down their lives. The actual circumstance has not changed for any of us. It's how you decided to think about the circumstance that determined how you came out of it at its worst and how you're moving through it currently. You get to choose 100% any circumstance. Situation with your husband, difficult relationship, a divorce, difficult boss, horrible job, horrible in-laws, like whatever it is. Starting a new job, leaving your job, starting a new business. Tap into the feeling that you currently have, and you're the only one who gets to decide. Is this feeling serving me or not? Is this feeling based on a thought that I can change? And yes, you can, or not? Why am I stuck in this thought? Why am I keeping myself in this thought? Usually when we keep ourselves stuck in a thought or a feeling is because to move out of it means we have to move out of our comfort zone, means we actually have to change. So it's easier to say, well, this is just what I've believed and this is just what I think and this is just how I feel. I'm not going to change that. That's also a choice. So practice this at least once a day, at least with one thought a day. I mean, I can easily pick out things, ladies, you've written on the group. Easily, I can pick out 2 or 3 thoughts for each one of you that I can ask you to go and change. So this is not easy. I mean, it's not hard. I mean, you have plenty. Like, you don't even have to think of something new. Like, let me look on the group quickly, and I can just tell you, like, here's the thought that needs reframed. And not in any particular order. Yasmin, when you posted that beautiful painting of yours, you said, I'm imprisoned emotionally by feelings rotating around my weight and beauty. These feelings stifle me so much. Complete reframe right in front of you, right there, right there. Julia, we worked with, but she said, I'm struggling with my goal. You could choose a different word. You can say, I'm really enjoying discovering what my goal is. And just look at how the energy shifts from I'm struggling with my goal to I'm really enjoying the process of opening myself to different opportunities. That's one. I think Besma had something here. I can go through and find them all for all of you. Reda, definitely. Oh, Reda, I can't do my goals. It is too difficult for me. That's a thought right there. It is too difficult for me. I can't do my goals. That's the thought that she has. And so based on that, she's not going to be able to fulfill. Like if you're thinking it's too difficult for me, what kind of a feeling is going to come from that when thinking something is too difficult? Excitement? Awareness? Motivated? No, right? That was Redes. Okay, Basma has come up again. Let me see. There was something for Basma. I can't remember it right now. Mira. She says, I'm still in a total limbo. At the end of your little paragraph on your circle of life, I'm still in total limbo. So that's perfectly allowed. All of this is I'm not shaming or blaming anybody. You're catching that current thought. I'm in limbo. I'm in limbo. So what do you think is going to happen when you're basically what you're doing is telling your brain, like you're giving that instruction. I'm in limbo. I'm stuck. This is too hard. I can't do this. Your brain's going to be like, okay, you're in limbo, so let's just stay in limbo for a while. You think this is too hard? Okay, it is hard. You're right. Let's not figure it out at all. Because we know that your brain, especially your critter brain, doesn't like change. It's there to protect you. It's there to make sure that you don't move out of your box. It's there to make sure that you're just safe in your comfort zone. It's there to make sure that you don't exert any extra energy. It's there to make sure that you only do the things that bring you pleasure. So when you have these kinds of thoughts, your brain's like, yes, you can't do it. It's too hard, because if you do decide to do it, you're going to have to exert energy and potentially do something that might not be very pleasurable at first. Critter brain doesn't want that. He's programmed really hard to keep you safe and to make sure you're alive. So anytime you want to do something that goes out of your comfort zone, the critter brain panics and goes into resistance and tells you you're in limbo, tells you this is hard, tells you can't do this. So, and that's having a conversation, a back and forth. Meanwhile, you're doing nothing. Meanwhile, you're not moving. Meanwhile, you're not changing. So when you switch the thought, you're switching the instruction to your subconscious. You're changing the instruction. No, I'm not in limbo. I'm figuring this out. Look at what a difference. I'm figuring this out. I get to think about my opportunities. I get to switch my career. I get to spend more time with my family. I get to leave a job that doesn't fulfill me anymore. I get to have a vision for myself. This takes time, and it's an ongoing process. I've been doing this thought model for 2 years. Once you overcome one thought, once you overcome one way of thinking, once you get a result that you want by transforming your thoughts, well, you're on to the next new thing. because we're evolving human beings. We're not static. We're not going to just stay where we are. That's just how we're programmed to evolve and grow. So once you reach one level and it's done, it's good, I've got it wrapped up. Oh, well, there's something new now. There's a new challenge. There's a new level. And every new challenge and every new level is going to bring a new set of resistance and more thoughts, even though you thought, I've got this thought thing now. I know how to transform my thoughts. I know how to catch the thoughts that aren't working for me. I know how to transform them. But you're never going to stop thinking. You're never going to stop being faced with different circumstances or different people or different things. So this is a skill, like everything else, right? Like working out, like eating your healthy food. It has to be consistent in order for you to see the results and in order for you to maintain the results. I actually took a break from my mindset work this summer. This summer, I took a very conscious break from everything, from my work, from social media, from my daily journaling, from my daily, I said, I don't want to do anything. And I was like, mindset work, that's okay, because I'm not really focused on a particular goal. Like summer, my goal was just to relax and have fun. So why do I even have to be aware of what my thoughts are when I'm just having fun and relaxing? It was all right. But what happened was I was faced with certain things where, because I wasn't on top of just like a physical workout, you let it go for 3 or 4 weeks and you see the muscles weaken again. So I had let it go for 3 or 4 weeks and I was faced with a circumstance, but I was out of practice, that it took me out just like that. Like I went into an emotional free fall completely, or it was like, like Alice in Wonderland, which is going down that tube. Like I couldn't hang on to anything literally to get me out of it. Like I was stuck, for lack of a better word, because I had lost touch with how to be in daily contact with my thoughts. So it takes time and it takes practice, and it's not something you don't perfect it. You just work at it every single day. So I want you to try do your first thought model tomorrow or right now. If it's, you're feeling inspired right now and you're feeling called to do it because of this call, do a thought model, share it with me on the group. I want to make sure that you are understanding how the thought model process works. And on days where you feel like you have nothing to write in your journal, at least do one thought model. And it can be about anything: your personal life, your professional life, your health, your body, your neighbors, your friends, the world, anything. Anything where you feel yourself, you're being pulled down in a direction that's not serving you, thought model is what's going to help you transform it. Any questions, ladies, before I take off for today? Next week, you do have another new module on Sunday. So by Thursday, if you still don't have a goal, please reach out to me, because by Thursday, maximum Saturday, you want to have the goal formulated so you can start to implement in the mindset reframe, because starting next week, I'm going to tag you on that daily post for the mindset reframe. Complete that, complete your circle of life, complete your vision boards by this week. Next week, we are doing decluttering, which you guys are going to love, and skincare. That's coming up next week. So all of you are at different places in your lives, whether that's with your responsibilities for work, your kids, your families, whatever it is. It's very easy to fall back into our old patterns of, well, I have to take care of this first. I have to do this first. Let me just finish everything for the kids today first. Then I will sit and read my module. Then I will do my work first. Flip it. Nothing's going to happen to your family or your kids or your husbands or anybody if you take half an hour or an hour to do what you need to do for yourself first, and then take care of them. Trust me. Coming from a place of self-care when it comes to caring for others that we love is a much different experience for you and for them when you have taken care of and filled up yourself first. All right, ladies, let me know if you have any questions. Right now, we have literally a couple of minutes and I'm going to sign off. If not, Keep posting on the group. You know, I check. Those of you watching the replay, post your questions. Everybody also, at some point in this journey, share a thought model with me. Share it with me just to see. I want to see how your thought process is working. I want to see that you're understanding the shift between the first thought model and the second thought model, because this is the key to change, is your thoughts and your feelings. We're going to talk about food. Yes. You're going to change your food. Yes. But you haven't understood what's driving the thoughts and the feelings that are driving your eating habits. There is a physical component, yes, the biochemical addiction. But if you haven't grasped that, if you haven't grasped that change happens here first, it's going to be a lot harder to implement and maintain long term. All right, ladies, no questions for me today. All righty, I am going to sign off. I will see you all again, same time, same place next week. Keep the questions coming, keep the posts coming. Don't shy away. I can't help you. I can't help you. Literally, I cannot help you if I don't know what's happening with you. So you need to ask me all your questions. You need to post all your comments and concerns. Keep me posted as to where you are so that I can do what I need to do so that you can do what you need to do. All right, ladies, love you all and see you all next week.